Hi, this is Catherine Rose. I'm with BoardGameGeek here at SPIEL 2019. I'm sitting here with Jordan Draper from Jordan Draper Games, and he's here to talk about Tokyo TSUKIJI Market. There we go. I got it. All right, so tell me about the game.
All right, so this is an open economic player-driven economics game. So basically, you run a fishing company as a Japanese fisherman. So you have this dock, and you're building a fleet of ships in order to fish. But first, you have to go in and get licenses, and each of these markets has unique qualities, and so each of the fish are a little bit different. So say you go in, you get an eel license here, and
tuna license.
You get a tuna license. So then you can get some boats as you're buying and upgrading your fleet. You go out and spend fishing actions to undock, spend a fishing action to put a fish on, and then you can spend another one, you put it up for sale. So the cool thing about this game is, just like Container, you put something up for sale, and you'll never be able to buy it from yourself. This is just the price you're asking other players to purchase it for you for. Right? If nobody buys anything from you when it comes back to your turn, then this is going to degrade. And then if nobody buys it again, then you just lose it. So it's a lot of...
there's this balance there between, am I going to ask a low price to make sure it gets sold, or am I going to ask something high that I hopefully get some more money for?
You can kind of wait around if you want to set a higher price, and the next time you can go fishing again and rearrange the prices. But a lot of the markets are so unique, like the salmon, you have to buy it fresh to make it worth more, for example. And the cool thing in the game is that you build your fishing engine, and that's its own separate thing of efficiency where you're just making money from selling to other players. But there's all these central markets here of different fish types, and in these, they're all completely unique, and sometimes you can go in and sell resources, and sometimes you can go in and take advantage of other players being in different situations. So like the Fugu, they're a group, and they're worth something as a group, and so what you want to do is maybe find the right time to put those up for sale for certain players. And as they're all unique, the Fugu, for example, when it's going to degrade, you can buy it from yourself at that price, but only the Fugu. So that's an example of how all the markets are different. And so you have money, and you have resources. Resources are after you buy a fish from another player, you turn it from a barrel into a fish.
Yeah, and you have all these fantastic little pieces, individual for each type of fish, right?
Exactly, yeah. So once you have this as a resource, it's worth a certain thing based on what the market is. So like for eels, there's a variable price that changes when they're sold or caught. And so you have an eel is worth 4 resources, for example. At the end of the game, the player with the most resources gets a 1,000 yen bonus, and the player with the least has to pay 500. So you've got like your money, and you also have your resources, and you're trying to balance the two throughout the game, because money is leverage, and there's auctions, and sometimes you need to have leverage.
So there's lots of little things you're trying to keep track of constantly.
Exactly, yeah. And the game end trigger is when a player has 5,000 yen or 50 resource at the start of their turn, but not the least in the other out of all players. So it's a little bit tricky, and you can kind of fudge things and change resources for money as you're going on to try to extend the game or not, but at some point it's going to end, because you can't just keep track of that when everybody's above 50 in both categories.
And visually a very, very pretty game. Lots of really nice pieces, the slight sheen to things here and there, and really nice artwork as well. And again, these beautiful little...
Yeah, the wood pieces are really nice and tactile, and like these go in the bag and you pull them out for an auction, and it's kind of exciting. It's like
see what's on the
Yeah, you have the big tuna auction or the spider crab auction, for example.
Look at these, they're fantastic. I love them.
And then you can get these resin boats, which are really cool. There's a barge, which has its own special rules. You can just put things on it like a floating platform, and that can mix up different fish types, but normally each license is only for a certain ship, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot going on. Heavy economics, takes about 2 hours to play.
A lot of game in a nice little box.
There you go. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That is Tokyo TSUKIJI Market.
Yes.
Right. From Jordan Draper Games.